Hey guys, today's exercise of the day is a cat to cow stretch. So I absolutely love about this exercise is what we're promoting is mobility through the spine. So being able to move each segment of the spine independently. And we actually had a wee meeting the other day as Healthy Options as a wee social distance meeting. And we found that for sitting for long periods of time, we're all starting to feel these effects through our backs. So what we're going to do today is really focus on segmenting off each part of the spine and really finding mobility. So what happens when we sit for long periods of time is parts of the back just stop moving, they stop having to move, and they start to get locked up and a wee bit stiff. So I'm going to show you this exercise on your hands and knees, which you can do on your bed, of course. And I'm also going to show you the exercise seated if you don't want to be on your hands and knees, if you've got any knee problems. Okay, so when you're ready, you're going to come up onto all fours. So your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, your knees are under your hips, and we start with neutral spine. That means that your back is long, your chin is tucked, your neck is long, and your belly is slightly drawn in. So we're still thinking about lifting up through the pelvic floor and up through the belly. Now, to begin with, we're going to try and keep the low back and the hips still. We're going to press out of the hands, tuck the chin, and open out through the upper back. So this is where we're getting that thoracic mobility round about the rib cage. Then I'm going to sit my hips back an inch. You probably didn't even see it, it's such a small movement. And then really scooping in the belly, we're going to try and round through the lower back and in towards the pelvis. So that lumbar sacrum joint at the end that gets really stiff. Then from there, we're going to reverse it. So we're going to think about lifting the tailbone only up to the ceiling. And then again, pushing down through the low back, through the mid back, through the upper back. And then gently draw the shoulders away from the ears and start to lift the chin to the ceiling. From there, we're going to come back to neutral spine, so a long back, belly in, and then shift the weight back onto the hands. Okay, I'm going to do that a little bit quicker this time. So we're going to tuck the chin, open out the shoulder blades and round through the upper back, sit the hips back an inch, and then scoop the belly and see if we can get a little bit more movement through the lower back. I'm quite locked up here, so you probably wouldn't have seen much there. Okay, and then we're going to lift the tailbone, dip down through the low back, through the mid back, upper back, and lift the chin and chest to the ceiling. And then coming back to neutral. Okay, so we're breathing in. If you want a little bit more breath in here, breathing in through the nose, exhaling, rounding through the upper back. Inhaling, sitting back an inch. Exhaling and getting a little bit more movement through the lower back. Inhaling, lifting the tail, pushing down through the low back. And then exhaling back to neutral. Now that's a really lovely exercise, and if this is an area, I'm going fuzzy, if this is an area that you do find that you're not getting an awful lot of movement in, do this exercise at least once, if not twice a day, and aim to do 5 or 6 repetitions each time you do it. Consistency is key, so doing this once, it will feel good at the time, but it won't make any beneficial changes. So doing it every day, we'll start to see that we're going to move in that area of the body. Again, if you don't want to come down to the floor, I'm going to use my step today as my chair. So just imagine that I've got a dining room chair. So obviously my legs would be a bit lower down and I'd get a bit more movement. So my hands are on my legs. Of course, they would be here if I was on a chair. Tuck the chin, open out through the shoulder blades, scoop the belly in and kind of come into this C curve into the back. And then as we inhale, we would dip the chest and the chin forward, squeezing between the shoulder blades and arching through the lower back. Not allowing the head to drop back. So we need to keep the neck in a nice long position. And then starting again in that upright position. So we would tuck the chin, round through the upper back, scoop in the belly, round through the lower back. And then as we exhale, we're going to lift the chest, squeeze between the shoulder blades, feel that arch in the lower back and a light look up to the ceiling. And then return to neutral. So again, you can do that one 5 or 6 times. And if you are feeling any place that's not quite moving the way you would like it to, then definitely do this one at least once a day, if not more. And if you've got any questions, please do get in touch. I'll be more than happy to go through that exercise again. If you're on YouTube, subscribe.